Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the last series of readings from the radio and other stories. Today, we go to Lo, the home village of the author of the radio and other stories. As you crossed the boundary from Tunzip village to Lo, you felt a sense of strange familiarity. You began recognizing not just the faces, but also the trees and the stones by the roadside. Those stones and trees had followed you everywhere you had been, forming the backdrop of your dreams, however hazily. So many years spent in the quest for knowledge had made you a stranger in your village, the place that saw you grow. Much had happened during your absence. Since when you left for the university in the capital city, you only came back briefly and at long intervals, sometimes arriving at dusk and leaving at dawn. Thus, this was a proper homecoming for you. In the preceding days to your trip, the possibility of going home filled your subconsciousness with a preambular succession of sights and sounds. The splendorous firmaments of the Ka and Chindong mountains, whose contours and silhouettes featured in your infant hopes and nightmares about the second coming. The fragrance of the home soil after the first rains, that implacable aroma produced by the chemistry of the first raindrops on home soil. The gray-colored and gentle flowing River Mbi, which washed away your sins during baptism, even though some of the sins revisited you afterwards. The irreplaceable echo of the roosters standing on one leg as they crowed, marking the passage of time at early morning. The evening chorus of the crickets and various birds, the joyous voices of the Baptist Church Women's Choir as they rehearsed for Sunday morning service. Those Baptist choristers whose songs brought Jerusalem so near in space and time. Life in Lo converted that place into a center back in the 90s, especially during the beans harvesting season. That period when the colorful bean grains from fledgling bean plants had been transformed into gorgeous Holland wax, English wax in the Ndu market, and the village women shone brightly in new brands of fashionable sandals, shoes, and sweaters. The beans harvesting season was the time of the year when men were most submissive to women, especially given the capricious nature of the coffee prices that had turned the coffee plants around many compounds into nothing else but excessive ornamentation, void of any market value. But when women were happy, everyone was happy. The beans season often coincided with the football interquarters competition, creating a propitious ambience for other auxiliary activities such as gambling, baby-foot, and ballet. The football clubs created self-help groups in the various quarters for championing maize farms and for transporting harvested maize crops from distant farms. The female members of the clubs created ballet groups that interpreted popular songs during halftime and the post-match gala evenings. Those were the days of Jibe Mpiana, Bozi Bosiana, Papa Wemba, Kofi Olomide, General Defao, Diblo Dibala, Oliver Ngoma, Remy Salomon, Mewe, Pierre Adams, Papillon, Werason, Emile Kange, Chala Mwana, Mbila Bell, Yondo Sister, Shalon Bango, Lisa T, Rachel Mimbo, Monique Seka, and the list goes on. Those were also the days of the branché fashion, of the petticoat, of the waist purse, of Lacoste and Malcolm X t-shirts, of wool trousers, of Levi's jeans, of punk, and of Shalaman hairstyles. Youth activities between the villages of Lo, Ntunzip, and Taku reached the peak during that time, especially during their respective market days. Above all, thanks to the football competitions in these three communities. The degree of solidarity, conviviality, and social intercourse between the three localities was so intense at that time that any child born out of wedlock was most likely to be blessed with the genetic stamp of a triple heritage. Thank you.